Oh, what? The camera's rolling? Ah, my bad. Anyway, yeah, my name is Michael Knight, for those of you who do not know. And yeah, I've got a new video prepared for you guys. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna have my glasses up instead. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at that fine specimen. Absolute freak of nature. Oh yeah. I'm sorry I had to do this to you guys, but yeah, you're just gonna have to try and focus whilst I speak for the next 10 minutes. But yeah, you know, it's a bit of a different kind of video. It looks like every kind of video I make is a bit of a different kind of video, isn't it? But yeah, I have picked up digital marketing. Yes, this is the start of a new journey for me, and I am so glad I'm on it, because there are so many young people my age who are doing fuck knows piss, right? Doing nothing with their spare time, or with their spare time they're doing terrible, degenerate things with it. You feel me? So I'm just happy I'm on this journey of growth, of success. You feel me? I should have my bottle there with me. Whatever, right? So why did I decide to make this YouTube video? Well, not only am I documenting my own progress, but I'm hopefully inspiring one of you who is wondering, what do I do in my spare time? I'm here to tell you, right? Do something online. It has to be online, right? The possibilities are endless. Get online, you feel me? But digital marketing is great, right? It's very broad. You can go into marketing, obviously for yourself or for other companies. You can market different sorts of things, right? You can market for schools, you can market for big tech companies, you can market for your own companies, you can market for people you know in your personal, maybe your family, maybe your uncle has a car rental business. You can advertise for that and he can pay you and you can make money from that. And obviously the more money you make him, the more money you'll make for yourself. You understand? It's a beautiful niche. I really like how it works, and I've been doing it for just under 2 months now, right? And obviously I'm part of a community, and you know, that's where I'm educating myself. And yeah, so essentially today I just wanted to basically just, you know, note down, I managed to secure my, let me just adjust my camera. Okay, I actually managed to secure my first ever presentation, and I just had that a couple minutes ago. It was a man called Chris, and he owns a flooring company. So yeah, you know, he's a chill guy. You know, I like his energy. You know, he was really sort of on board, listening, paying attention, obviously, but you know, he was a stand-up guy. So yeah, so essentially, you know, it went great for my first time ever. You know, I've never really been that sort of, you know, shy or something. I was confident, you know, everything was flowing. I knew what I was talking about because I was just telling my mum the other day. The time between you starting whatever niche it is you're going into, provided it's in sales, right, person to person, provided that, you know, the day you start, right, from the actual point that you reach the presentation, okay, now it won't happen the same day, it might not happen the same day anyway, right? There's that period of time. I should probably illustrate what I'm doing with my hands. There's the period of when you start to when you actually meet the paying client, okay? Now between that sort of amount of time, you're obviously educating yourself and you're learning how the business actually works. So once the time comes for you to present that to somebody, you'll sort of naturally know roughly what it takes and be able to answer their questions naturally. Okay, cool. So by the end of the call, we ended up coming to an agreement that he would get back to me. I know. And he's more interested in social media management, which I would be able to provide for him. Hopefully, you know, we get that cracking, and with time we move him on to paid ads. But that is essentially my goal for now. Yeah, sorry about that. So like I was saying, Hopefully I'm able to move him on to paid ads. That way he's more of a original sort of organic client, and we're able to move forward with that. So the whole thing went great. Obviously it's my first one, always bags of room for improvement, and I just can't wait to continue with them and see how it goes. But yeah, I would urge anyone to look into it, right? Digital marketing is it's a great niche. Yeah, so that's essentially the main thing I wanted to say, and I just wanted to get it documented. You know, I might put it as like an episode 1 thing, something like that, or whatever. Yeah, you know, if you're someone and you know you seem to have so much free time, it's desperately urgent, right, for you to do something with that free time. You know, obviously I picked up digital marketing. You don't have to go into digital marketing. I would recommend it. I always recommend every young person to go and do sales, right? Especially young boys. And I say young boys because it's important to develop key skills whilst you're young, because they stick with you. They're easier to learn, right? And when you're young, your brain is like a sponge that has been squeezed, right? There's no liquid. Liquid is basically knowledge. There's no knowledge, there's no skill there. If you're young and you allow that sponge to expand in that bucket of water, all it's going to take in is all this newfound knowledge and skills, and these interests, they'll grow in your head and you'll just become so smart. And you know what I mean, because you started while you were young. You see, the school system, that's another reason why I kind of look at it with a bit of a side eye. I look at it with a bit of confusion, because not only are they, well, the school system is good, right? It has its benefits, but when it's from morning till almost evening, you're jam-packing this child with all this new content, and you know they've got to remember 90% of everything, and you know it can get much, and it doesn't really leave much room for them to learn other things outside of just what they teach in school. And I know there's a large number of you who go through experiences today, like let's just say you've left the education system, or at least high school in the UK. Let's just say you've gone past that. I'm sure there are issues you live through today that school did not really prepare you for. They didn't really help you, and they would have known that you were going to encounter these problems. You feel where I'm coming from? They could have done their due diligence and helped you as a person with these issues that you could be encountering today, right? And everyone can go and talk about, oh, they don't teach you how to do taxes and stuff like that. That's just one example, right? You know, but even stuff such as, you know, with women, you know, I mean, obviously school isn't really where you go to learn about that, but it's just an example of the things that maybe they may be unorthodox, but they won't teach you everything that you really should need to know to get out of life. You feel where I'm coming from? Which is why the online space is so useful. You know, you get people like me, you get people whoever who can just tell you stuff straight up, you know, unhinged, stuff that you really need to hear, even if it might seem like bro knowledge. Like, you know, a lot of it is good to hear. So yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, I've just been chilling. How much time do we have? I don't know. Let me talk about how my day went. Okay, so obviously I had college today. Well, I was supposed to. So I woke up. In fact, let's go a bit further back. I had recently just done an exam. Okay, for college. Cool. Now, there's always a bit of a grey area with me after doing an exam, and especially when it's like the last exam for the actual course or something like that, right? Because my exam, it was a reset. I didn't do too well on the first one. There's some reasons for that. I'm not a kind of guy to give out excuses left, right, and center. You guys already know that. Done the reset. I feel like I smashed it anyway. Cool. So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, this Monday that's just came up, what on earth could they want us in college for after we've just done the last exam regarding the course. Why on earth should we go to college? Like, what is there for us to learn, for us to revise or go over, provided we've just done, if you're where I'm coming from, provided we've just done the exam, which we would be preparing for. Because when I go on my timetable and I go online, I can see that I have lesson 1, be here at this room at this time, period 1, period 2, all the way down for Monday. And I see that for Monday, Tuesday, and you know, it looks like a normal sort of timetable would. So in my head, I'm thinking, I just know this is going to be one of them days where I turn up to college. I pay the transport fares and everything to get there. But the second I get there, my teacher is nowhere to be found. My classmates nowhere to be found. It's almost like everyone was invited somewhere and I wasn't. I turned up and no one was there. I just knew this was going to be one of them days. What happens? I decide to go. I go. I check everything. Everything seemed normal. I go. Tell me why I turn up to college. In fact, before that, right? I was taking the tram. And I'll probably actually insert a little clip, right? Actually, maybe I won't, because I wanted to talk about what was in that clip in another video. Okay? I might make that video tomorrow, because I've done a lot today. But I took the tram, right, to college. The second I got off the tram, I said to myself, you know what? Let me just check this timetable one more time. I checked my timetable, and I kid you not, wiped. My session for today, my school session, wiped. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. There's no lessons. So if I was at home and I had checked at that time, I suppose, I would have stayed at home because I had no lessons for Monday or Tuesday. You see the issue? So I'm furious because I knew something was up, but it showed on my timetables I had lessons, okay? And I'm really trying to just sort of follow instruction and go because I have lessons on, right? Only for me to reach college, right? Because the tram stop is not too far from the college. Only for me to reach there and see that it's been wiped off the timetable. Imagine. So I'm furious at this point. I storm into the college. I'm looking for my teacher. I'm looking to speak to someone. She, like I said, she's gone. I see none of my classmates. And I was looking good as hell too, you feel me? Like, you know, I was looking, you know, that's besides the point, but you know, you know. So that's how that day went, you know. Yeah, I mean, I did some more things today. I think I'll save it for a future video to talk about. But yeah, man. Yeah, that was just a little bit of a rant, you know. And I know some of you would have enjoyed listening to that, so you know, that's cool. But yeah, that's episode 1, and I'll speak to you soon. If you'd like to join the community, I've got the link in the description. You can join, click it, have a look around, and yeah, we'll speak soon.